So I'm going to go through this quickly because there's a Q&A section that I think would be helpful to you as parents that we're hearing the concerns are in making this transitions to the grade centers. So with that being stated, here are the dates that we've already secured. Today's the 16th. It's a Board of Education meeting. On Thursday night, we're going to do a presentation from 5 to 6 at the Giles LRC on May 25th, 7 to 8 p.m. at the Lee LRC, and then Thursday, June 8th, from 7 to 8 at Ridgewood High School Auditorium. So if you have a chance to you can attend those meetings, or if you so choose, make sure you can tell other people that if they want some more of the information, they can go to one of those locations on one of those dates and times. So here is our long-term planning that we've done. We've established a long and short-term fiscal management plan that aligns with our policies and procedures. We have enrollment projections which show that we're pretty stagnant over the next 3 years. Our financial projections are complete. We're getting better, but we're not at a point where we could say we're stable. Our facility needs assessment has been completed. Technology replacement cycle is in progress. Our capital plan, as well as our instruction, which I'll speak specifically to today. So hold on that thought later, more specifically a curriculum review cycle. Again, we've established our policies. We're trying to comply with our policies. We're identifying as many possible efficiencies, and we're working or determining those short-term and long-term, as well as implementing short-term and long-term fiscal solutions. This is part of a process that we've had to adhere to because of our current fiscal position. For 17-18, we've cut over $750,000 in expenses. Some of those expenses are listed here. We've eliminated summer school. We've reduced our LRCs. We've shifted LRC aides. We've shifted office assistants to part-time, which complies with our job subscriptions. We postponed instructional technology purchasing, eliminated field trips that were expensed by the district. So the district actually has helped expense for field trips. We are no longer going to take that position. Eliminated the industrial arts and the reading specialist positions and transitioned to grade centers. However, we will have to make adjustments in 18-19. And this is something we've been presenting on, which can change based on our annual financial reports. So some of the things in 18-19 can change. But what we're going to look at in the 18-19 to meet the other marker of a 3-year deficit reduction plan is eliminating our bookkeeper, lunch duty stipends, a potential to consolidate to one building, as well as eliminating nearly half our staff. That's just some of the things that we may have to. It just depends on where we are financially. Okay. As I've stated before in many presentations, the tax rate on the left is the tax rate of the Norwich residents for our school district. So we're at 2.3713 versus the median of other school districts that we commonly compare to. So when you hear people talk about, like our athletic teams, if it's Rosemont, if it's Union Ridge, well, those other districts have much higher tax rates than we do. Much higher tax rates than we do. In fact, we're second to the bottom. If you put that in a more amenable term, we have the operating expense per pupil. So what does it cost for us to educate our kids? We're at $10,145 versus $12,634. Now keep in mind, the $12,634 is the median of our neighboring districts, but it's very close to the state average. So we're below the state average. Okay? And what does that look like when I break it down and compare it for comparative purposes? You look at Rosemont, $16,810 per pupil. Rhodes, Manheim. You look at Norwich, we're third from the bottom. We're only off by a few or $1,000 or really it's $300 between the three. Here's the question and answer section that we're trying to inform parents of. Who will provide before and after school care? Currently, board contracted with a contractual service, which is referred to as Right at School. and parents will have the ability to drop off and pick up their students based on the fee that they're willing to pay. So they have specific times. We put the brochure in the Friday folder. I believe we posted it online, so that information is out there. So it's up to the parents to, if they so choose, to access this service. Will there be transportation services to students? We are not providing transportation services. We are classified so that we do not have to provide that. And it's similar to RHS, which does not have to provide transportation services, as well as Union Ridge. So these three districts are exempt based on our classification, and the board is not going to invest money in providing transportation. What will special education look like for next year? So you know we have one special ed teacher dedicated to each grade level. One special ed teacher dedicated to each grade level. So in my mind, it's a very, very robust program where we're going to be able to serve the needs of all of our students much better than we have before. What is the rationale for making Lee K through 4 and Giles 5 through 8? Or who determined what students will be moving to another school in the district? Well, according to our Grade Center feasibility study, we had more in-classroom washrooms for the primary grades at Lee's school. In fact, it was 300% more. In addition, the Park District, which is a pre-K program, is located at Lee, so we wanted continuity. We wanted the pre-K, kindergarten, first, second, third, and fourth, all in the same building. In addition, there was a lot of talk about the stairs, the infamous stairs at Giles, and the steepness of the stairs, which they're not in the current codes, but they've been grandfathered in previous codes. So we wanted the bigger kids with the bigger staircase. We wanted to make our kids feel safe, secure, and really comfortable in their new setting. What will the class sizes look like? And I hear about this quite often. Dr. O'Malley, I'm really concerned about the class sizes. But keep in mind, you have two buildings. Currently, you have Giles, you have Lee. At Lee, on average, your class sizes are much smaller than at Giles. In fact, Giles parents are used to having larger class sizes. And so in this presentation, I found that the Giles parents are used to seeing the numbers that are represented here. Versus at Lee, you've had small class sizes. But on average, your class size, I've actually listed them out here, they're going to be similar, not necessarily the same, to the current conditions. And I broke it down in two ways. I broke it down in class size based on the sections, but also class size inclusive of the special ed teacher. So, for example, 5th grade is 26 students per class. Kindergarten, 8th grade are 25 students per class. 1st and 4th grade are 24 students per class. 6th and 7th are 23 students per class. 2nd grade is 22 students per class. 3rd grade, 28 students per class. Okay? If I break it down based on a ratio of the number of teachers at each grade level, it changes. So this is two ways to look at it. From a ratio perspective, based on the number of teachers that are assigned to each grade level, kindergarten, 5th, and 8th grades are 21 students per teacher per grade level. 1st, 4th, 6th grades are 20 students per teacher per grade level. 2nd and 7th grades are 19 students per teacher per grade level. 3rd grade is 23 students per teacher per grade level. Okay? Slightly different way to look at it. And a third way you can take it and look at it is you can take the total number of students, total number of teachers, divide it, and you get about approximately 16 students per every one teacher, which is right on par with the state average. Which is right on par with the state average. Okay? Does the Grade Center model provide opportunities to improve the current program for our schools, or does the district anticipate better program alignment? I got to tell you, I'm super excited about the Grade Centers because we're going to have much better alignment than ever before. All of our 8th grade teachers are going to be in the same building, and they're going to be able to meet regularly. In fact, they're going to be able to meet daily. It's going to be a huge difference in, number one, how we educate our kids and how we talk about providing a better education for our students. More specifically, one that is more personalized. And more importantly, they're going to be able to line their curriculum so that there's continuity between the two buildings becoming one. The second is the World Language Program. We're now going to have 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade Spanish program as opposed to our current condition, which is an expansion at really no additional cost, because I already have 4 teachers certified to teach Spanish. So as opposed to 2 teachers teaching Spanish, I now have 3 that are certified. We just had to transfer 1 to be able to teach that course. Consolidation of our services, and this is something you're going to hear through the grapevine. We've been working on a great relationship with RHS. We meet monthly, once a month, and we've been talking about ways that we can provide a better service to our students. For example, all 3 districts use the MAP assessment. In the past, that was not the case. We had 3 districts using 3. We had the Explorer, we had the Iowa, and they had the MAP. All 3 of us are using the MAP, so that's one example. Second example is Union Ridge has dedicated a director to help us in aligning our science program. So these are very, very powerful things. Okay? Continuing on, I call it the gifted program. I guess I'm a little old school. But we want to look at a flexible schedule for our kids, and we want to be able to provide them at the level that they're at. Author adoption program, which I'm a big fan of. We got to have some type of author adoption where author could come in, and the kids can basically dedicate the month, the week, whatever they so choose to that author, read the book, have the author come in, sign the books, and it could be something that's very, very powerful. In addition, it's something you can work with the Eisenhower Library. Continuous improvement practices, and you hear me say this, no math problem left behind. Math to me is one of the most frustrating subjects I deal with on a regular basis. I'm frustrated when my kid comes home and he can't solve the problems, I can't solve the problems. I believe it should be done in school, and I think the research, the reading, the writing should have additional support at home. That's my philosophy. Math should be done at home. We should have all the support in the building. Okay? What are the start and end times for Lee and Giles, and what programs will be maintained? With the district transitioning to grade centers, we save $753,200 exactly. Lee and Giles will have different start and end times. So the start times are as follows. Start and end times are as follows. At Giles Elementary, school will begin at 8:10 and end at 2:55 for grades 5 through 8. At Lee, it will begin at 8:20 and end at 3:05 p.m. for grades K through 4. The school will have teacher professional development and planning as follows. It will be from 3 to 3:30 and 3:10 to 3:30. Okay? The beauty of this is there's elimination of the early release Wednesdays, which is a huge inconvenience for parents. So you will no longer have to deal with the Wednesdays and having a different schedule. It's going to be the same schedule Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, except, of course, for Teacher Institute days or for SIP days, which will remain the same. Not necessarily the same, they'll remain similar because they too are going to align with the start and end times. There's another question that comes up is when are the gates going to be open? The gates. And so we will provide supervision. In fact, it's on the board agenda for tonight to improve the staffing plan of support staff. Giles Elementary School will begin at 8:10 and end at 2:55 for grades 5 through 8. Again, Giles Elementary School drop-off will be from 7:55 to 8:10. In other words, the gates will be open. Giles Elementary School pickup from 2:55, which is the end of the day, to 3:05. Okay? And that's the current conditions now. It's 15 minutes before school, 10 minutes after school. If we extend that to Lee, Lee is slightly different because of the beginning times and the end times. Lee Elementary School drop-off will be 8:05 to 8:20. There's a typo there. It should say Lee Elementary School pickup, 3:05 to 3:15. Okay? Just remember, 15 minutes before school starts, 10 minutes at either of the schools. So if you know the start time of both of your schools and the end times, just keep that in consideration. That is a contractual obligation. Will the district still have extracurricular activities such as band and athletics? Yes, we will. However, the programs will be consolidated. Another way to look at it is we're going to have a lot more of those trophies and a lot more awards ceremonies with our kids. Will teachers be assigned to different grade levels in different buildings? Yes, they will. And I know some parents are not going to be happy. Okay, I know what I'm going to hear. I can't believe, Dr. O'Malley, that you assigned this teacher to this grade level.